What's up? Welcome to the Pretty Decent Podcast, the podcast that barely meets expectations. My name is Javier, and I'll be your host. So relax, grab some snacks, and enjoy. All right, now let's get to the episode. All right, let's do this, shall we? Welcome back, everyone. I know I was out for almost an entire month, pretty much since Valentine's Day. But I have a good reason behind why pretty much a lot of traumatic character development happened during February. And it was just a lot to process, but I figured, you know what? Let's talk about it in the podcast, get some content out of it, and yeah, catch you guys up to speed with everything that has been happening in my illustrious, illustrious, I don't know how to say that word, but in my amazing movie-like life. But before I get into, the episode, yes, I am recording in a new place. This is my spare room that I've been trying to make into a studio. So I know there's a little bit of an echo. I still have to soundproof the walls, but ease our way into the new place. Also, I figured that I'm going to be changing the format of the show a little bit. I'll be releasing episodes bi-weekly because with a lot of logistics that I have to do with editing and all that stuff and just like pushing episodes weekly, I saw like the quality was declining. So I figured, you know what? Let's just, change the release schedule and everything. And I also wanted to make a quick announcement that I'm going to be more active on the Instagram now because I'll be doing weekly reviews and stuff of food and all that stuff called Pretty Decent Reviews. So, yeah. So check out the socials on the description for my TikTok, my Instagram, the podcast Instagram. If you want to follow on Spotify, because obviously, if you want to listen to the stuff with your screen locked, you can do that on Spotify while you're in the car. But with all of that out of the way, and now that we have gone a few minutes into the recording, I can finally swear. Because, man, what the fuck was February? It was just insane, like crazy from pretty much from like the very beginning. Because I remember that I think it was the Valentine's episode, I kind of talked how I got injured. So, from the very beginning, February just started off not the best way possible. You know what? Because I made a list of all of the things that happened in February. Let's see. We have getting injured and not being able to run. We have getting blackmailed, which I don't know how much I can dive into that because I was talking to my PR team and my management, and I had to, figure out what I can say and what I can't say. Obviously, I don't want to go too in depth about that because it was pretty traumatic. We have people from my past trying to come back, which, I learned from my past and sorted that out in the best way possible. And then, yeah, I don't know, man. like this month was just a lot of personal growth that well, yeah, there was personal growth, but like all of the stuff that happened was just very, very traumatic, and like it overwhelmed me to the point where like I hadn't felt like I had hit rock bottom pretty much since when I like first moved into where I'm living right now. And it was just crazy, man. It's just everything, like it just felt like everything was going wrong for no reason. Because I mean, I take pride in being a good person, and my morals and my values and how I carry myself about life, and like, wanting to help people, not because of like for selfish reasons. It's just like if I can help someone, why won't I help them out? Like pretty much just like carrying myself the way that my parents raised me. And from like, like seeing how the world operates, you see like people that do good things happen to them. But in my case, I'm like, it's just insane, because I don't know, it was just a lot of things, man. A lot of things just felt like they were starting to go wrong. Like the running thing, for example. Like I got injured, so pretty much like the entire month of February I didn't run, and that hindered my original plans for upcoming marathons, because I had scheduled to run a marathon in April, but obviously, like not running for 4 weeks, like, affects training camp. So I figured, I'll just, run in May. But turns out that I tried running at like the last week of February, and kind of like injured myself again. So I'm like, okay, I think it's time to go to a physical therapist and like see what's wrong with my knee. And luckily, no surgeries needed, no major issues. It's just like I need to strengthen my knee to avoid injuries and stuff like that. So he said that I should just take it slow, and do some strength training, and then progressively, transition into running on the elliptical, and then progressively like, start running outside, and like slowly start picking up the mileage again and all that stuff. And it kind of like the whole injury put into perspective what I want to do with running, because this past weekend I was just thinking that obviously like, my goal of like doing the 50 marathons, like, a marathon in each state, all that stuff, or at least a race in each state, that's still on board. But I kind of want to be able to, like do what I do normally for a training camp, but without thinking of like I'm doing this for a race, just like doing it because I want to do it. Obviously, no one forces me to run the marathons, but I feel like there's always like, if I have a race that I'm looking forward to, I'm like, oh, like I gotta go out there and run because I have a race coming up and I already paid for it. So like, it like kind of like hinders the motivation. But yeah, I feel like lately I've just been missing running a lot, like more than usual. But I know like I have to, take my time to strengthen my knee and like just heal completely so that I can avoid getting injured again further down the road. And so that I can run, for longer periods in my life. And yeah, so, that's going on with running. Oh, before I continue, I also decided to keep the episodes shorter. So, like reserve the hour-long episodes for guests, or unless like something major happens, like, a race or something like that. And like, normal episodes, like the ones that are like just typical my day-to-day stuff, those will be like 30 to 45 minutes, keeping it short, because that was also something that, thanks to Google, what is it? YouTube creator or something like that. Like like you can see all like the stats and all that stuff. The retention rate is shit. So I was working on it, keeping you guys engaged and everything. But anyway, and then February, it was just like, obviously, not being able to run and having the injury that already like, even like from the very beginning, just like changed my mindset for the rest of the month, because I'm like, oh, like I can't run, so I'm just like stuck at home trying to heal and all that stuff. So and then the blackmailing stuff was bad, and I'm more pissed at myself. Like, I don't want to go too in depth because I don't want to open that Pandora's box, but also because of my safety, I don't want to say too much. But pretty much like the whole situation, I feel so dumb falling for it, because pretty much like they were threatening my career, and my head went to like my engineering career, not like what they were actually talking about, which was the podcast and like my running career. And like afterwards I was like, I'm so stupid, like, because I purposely don't say anything about like my actual career in public. Like, I don't even think I have it on my LinkedIn or anything like that, just because like, being what's it called, a presence in the internet or the social media stuff, I try to keep like the stuff that funds pretty much all of this, keep it private and personal. Like, only like a selected few people know about all that stuff. So that's why I'm like, okay, I don't post anything about like where I'm working or anything like that, just like for my own safety. But I was so dumb. Like, I even had to change phone numbers and all that stuff for my own safety, and then like go to the police station, all that stuff. And yeah, I don't know, like I think I also fell for it because obviously like I live by myself, so I feel like I sometimes like get so caught up with being by myself that I'm like, sometimes like if something's off, like sometimes like also I think I do have ADHD, because sometimes I forget stuff that I do, and then I'm like, wait, I did not leave this like this. Did someone coming to my house and like something happened? Because I remember there was this one time that, I don't know, I think it was like I had left. It was when I was still recording in my dining room table, and I had left like the camera in like a certain specific place, but I forgot that I moved it. And then when I got back from work, I was like, wait, did someone move my stuff? And I was like scared. I'm like, oh my God, did someone like come into my house and like break in and all that stuff? And I'm like, and so like I panicked and I started looking for like, make sure like all like the stuff that I need, like, documents and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, they're still here. So like pretty much I don't think anything happened. But I don't know, like I feel like I'm a very paranoid person. I overthink a lot of stuff. And I feel like I just, obviously like now I laugh at what happened, but in the moment it was scary, very scary. Cause like, I don't know, like I don't wish anyone to go through any of that stuff, but I guess like my advice would be safe in the internet. Cause it's crazy to think that there's people out there with the intention of like hurting people, and it's like, what's the reason behind that? But your boy is safe. And it was just so dumb because like I don't know, like I don't maybe and further down the road I talk about it, but where I'm still trying to sort a few things out, so I don't want to get too in depth on that stuff. And it hasn't even been a month since it happened, and I'm sometimes like when it comes up, I'm like get on edge about it, but whatever. Um, and then after, I feel like this month, like all the good stuff happened on the weekends, and like weekdays were just awful. Like I want to say like every weekend this month was great. I did have to like at one point I was like so overwhelmed that I did a lot of retail therapy, which is not good. But I was like, screw that, fuck that. I had a very bad month, so I deserve it. I mean, I even changed frames. Like this month was so bad that I even broke my old glasses because there was this one Friday that I think it was the same Friday that I almost died because my car was snowed in at work and I was crossing a stoplight and my brakes pretty much didn't brake and I just like through the stoplight and I'm like, well, if I die, I die. But then I get home and I'm like changing into some clothes and I'm like, okay, finally, like I can decompress from like a terrible, awful week. And then I put my glasses on my bed and I'm like putting on some socks and I sit on them and I'm like, no way. I'm like, really? Like this week couldn't have been worse. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, why? So like I rush in my house and I'm like trying to find the receipt of the glasses because the same place that I bought them, like they have a store here. So I was like, oh, maybe like if I have the receipt, like I can prove to them like, oh, I bought them here, but like in another city, all that stuff. And then I couldn't find the receipt, so I was like, oh, screw that. I'm just gonna take them and see if they'll take them. And then they're like, well, like, oh, I get there, and then the lady's like, looks me up and everything, and she's like, well, actually, the warranty expired 2 days ago. And I'm like, fuck. And she's like, but you are in time, like you're due for like an eye exam. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I have insurance, so like it'll cover it. And she's like, yeah. So like I think I only ended up paying like $10. And then like the following week I went in, got my eyes tested. Oh yeah, and they managed to get the lenses back in my glasses, but they were still like crooked. So I had to go on a date like that, which was embarrassing. But that weekend was great. And then I got my glasses. Well, I got my eyes checked, and your boy isn't any more blind than I already am. But then she was like, oh, like, do you want to look at frames right now? And I'm like, you know what? Why not? So I picked out the I don't know if you can really see them, but they're sick frames. I think I'll pull up a picture. Over there, you can see like I look very, very dapper, and then yeah. Wait, my time frame is awful. I got these frames. Oh yeah. So I went in, bought the frames, and then I got them this past Tuesday. So I've been wearing them ever since. Like, hasn't even been a week since I've been wearing these. But yeah, I'm feeling some type of way. And if you wear glasses, you know this feeling. Like, you get a fresh pair of frames and you're just like, damn, like you're looking forward, like, you know, as soon as you like you buy them, and then you're just like looking forward to like getting them and putting them on, and you're like, oh, like I look so good. And I don't know, like I was so excited to go get them and like put them on, and like now I'm like just feeling myself. And then and yeah, I don't know, like every time like I would talk to like my parents, my cousins, my friends and everything about like everything that happened in February, like I would always break down because I was just so overwhelmed by everything, like the running stuff, the blackmailing stuff, just everything feeling like it was hitting the shitters for no reason, because I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Like, and like I would always see memes like I did like, you know, like they say like God gives his toughest battles to his strongest warriors. I'm like, I did not ask to be the strongest warrior, man. Like why? Like what type of character development am I going through? Like, you know, like why do I have to go through all of this? Because like I feel like this was like character development that happens in a year, but I had it in 28 days, and I'm like, God, like I was just exhausted, and I was like, I had no energy at work, and it just everything. I just felt like everything was going bad on weekdays. Weekends was fine, which is kind of weird, but then I think like the one day that I feel like everything just like came crumbling down was 2 weeks. Wait, the week that I went in, the week after like the blackmailing stuff, like I think I was at work and someone from my past decided to email me, and I was like, why are you reaching out, man? Like really, like everything is going to shit. Like I don't need to do all of this. Like what? Like it's so unnecessary, but whatever. And pretty much it was like an ex from the past trying to like justify their actions, and I'm like, look, shit happened 7 months ago. Like it was traumatizing as hell. I had to go to therapy and all that stuff, but I mean, like the least I could do was read whatever they wanted to send. I read it and I'm like, well, yeah, like you did what you did. It won't fix any of like what happened to me, but if that's what, you know, brings like, what's it called? Peace of mind, go ahead. I'm not going to stop you, but like I learned my lesson, and I'm not going to let people that, you know, aren't good for my life, I won't let them back in. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that was just like my cup started overflowing, and like I got home and I just let it all out. And I think I even took a picture of myself crying, because I was like, I don't know, like I was just like, I always see like people taking pictures of them crying, and I'm like, you know what? It was like I did it because I'm like, it's a good reminder that I'm like, you know, things get that bad, but it's not gonna be forever. They're gonna be that bad. Like I'll get out of it. And I gotta give a massive shout out to my friends and my family, my mom, my sister, my cousins, and my best friends, because I'm like, y'all, if it weren't for y'all, like I don't know where I'd be right now, because pretty much like I was going to Peoria every weekend to see my friends, and like I'm saying, like every weekend in February was just like the highlights of the month. And yeah, it was just a lot of stuff that was just felt like I was like, why is all of this happening right now? So I was like, I was looking at my production team, and I'm like, look, y'all, there better be some great things down the road for the rest of 2023 for me to be going through all of this character development. Because if it's for no reason, I'll be pissed and I'm gonna sue the fuck out of you. Or I'll be suing myself. Anyway, you understand the point. But because I'm like what kind of movie shit am I like? Like when I said that I wanted my life to be a movie in 2023, this is not what I meant. Okay, I wasn't expecting to just get traumatized for like get traumatized and scared and then like, you know, like pretty much have like a flashback to my past, and it's just so bad. It was like so bad. But I guess like March has been pretty good. Obviously, you know, the glasses. I bought 2 pairs of sneakers. Right now I'm wearing my new ones, some Puma suedes. I bought some new Converse. Obviously, you know, back to recording. I've been doing rehab for my knee, which has been feeling really good. I've been already doing it for 1 week. So this week I'm going to start doing 5 days. And then, yeah, I mean, Friday, a friend from college drove down, and then we went to Peoria and we hung out with like our friend group, and it was a lot of fun. It was like, you know, the boys back together, all the squad. We went to watch Creed 3. What the bro, like literally. So we scheduled to go to 140 to the movie, and we get there at like 1:30 something. No, we got there at 1:40, and we got into the auditorium at 1:50 something, 53. And like we get there and like we hop in, and we started watching. Okay, spoilers for Creed 3 if you haven't watched it, which by the way, you're not missing out on much. Pretty much like we got in and we were like, we got in and they were like, it was Dame fighting against, I don't even know his name, when he wins like the belts, right? And I'm like confused. I'm like, we were just 10 minutes late and they're already starting like with the fight so soon. Like they haven't even introduced Dame or who he is or all that stuff. Dame is Jonathan Major's character. And I'm like, okay, so like I keep watching, and then like, you know, goes into like the whole Donnie like challenges Dame for the belt, all that stuff, and then like the training montage, and then like the final fight. But we just didn't know what was happening. And I look at my friend and I'm like, yo, like I think the movie's about to end. Like, is the movie really this short? And I was like, and he's like, I don't know, like it can't be the end. And I'm like, I looked at online and it's supposed to be 1 hour and 53 minutes long. And he's like, no, it doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, I know, like what the fuck is going on? And then like the final fight, very underwhelming, not realistic at all. It looked too like fake, and they couldn't even get the guy that says like, let's get ready to rumble. It was like some white guy with dreadlocks, and I'm like, okay, it's corny. Not the white guy with dreadlocks, but I'm like, come on, it's supposed to be like the battle for LA or whatever, and like you can't even get, what is it, Michael Buffer, I think is his name, but like, you know, an iconic person that introduces fights and stuff. And then like after the fight, it's just like, so like the acting was bad, and then like the movie ends and we're like, no way, they just ended. We just watched 1 hour. And then like he looks at the tickets, my friend looks at his tickets, and it says 12:40, and we're like, no way. The lady at the counter gave us tickets for like the wrong showing, so we missed the whole first hour of the movie. And now I'm like, okay, like we gotta go tell them like she messed it up. And then she's like, no, we go there and we're like, hey, like, you gave us tickets for the 12:40 showing, not the 1:40. So could we get a refund, or, you know? And she's like, oh, like, I'm so sorry. Like, what I'm gonna do is like I'll give you a refund, and if you want to go into like the 2:40, you can go ahead. Like, I won't charge you or anything. And we're like, and we talk amongst ourselves, and we're like, no, we just want the refund. It's fine. And then she's like, oh, like, I can get you guys some food, some nachos, some hot dogs for free if you want, for like the inconvenience and everything. And my friend is like, no, I don't think we need anything. And I'm like, no, I'll take the nachos. And he just looks at me, and I'm like, what? I won't say no to free food. And then I was expecting to get the nachos and like the cheese in like a little container, but no, it was like an open container. So I'm like, ah. So I was like slurping on the cheese. And then we like leave, and we were like, bro, like, what are the odds, you know? Like, we just go into like watch a movie for like the second half, you know, like what? And then because I wanted to watch the movie. I was interested because I mean, I love all of the Rocky movies. Rocky 4 and Rocky 3 are perfect. Rocky 1, amazing. Pretty much like the whole, like all of the movies are perfect. Creed 1, amazing. Creed 2 was all right, but I was excited to watch Creed 3 because it was like the first one without Rocky in the movie. And, you know, it was like an Adonis story, like story based, you know, it had nothing to do with like old Rocky characters or anything like that. So I was excited about that. But, and also like the reviews were saying like, ooh, like Jonathan Majors' character is like probably like the scariest out of like all of the Rocky movies, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, huh, interesting. That must be cool then. If like, you know, cause like, Clubber Lang was scary. Obviously Apollo isn't a bad guy, but he's an iconic villain, I guess, in Rocky 1. Drago, like, come on, it's Drago, you know. But from like the just watching the second half was so like the acting was so bad. Like the way they delivered the lines were just bad. And then like the final fight was also bad. And because like the final fight pretty much went from like round 1, and then it's just like a few hits, and then we're like round 12, and I'm like, what the fuck? What happened to round 2 to round 11? Like, and so like we decided to watch Creed 1 at home, and the whole, like, Creed 1 is perfect. It's such a good movie. Like the introduction of Adonis and like his relationship with Rocky and like with his mom and all that stuff, it was just perfect. And like even the fights are so much better. And I was like, how did they go from this to what we just watched? Well, like the hour that we just watched. And I guess like if we would have watched like the first half, obviously like I would have gotten more invested in like the characters, but it just felt very underwhelming. Like they were talking about like the final fight being like, oh, like Michael B. Jordan was like inspired by anime and all this and that. And like the only thing that I could see that was inspired by anime was like in one part, like they both punch each other at the same time, like to finish the round, which looked so unrealistic. Jonathan Majors like boxing form and all that stuff, like he was blocking like this. Like who blocks like this? Like, huh? I'm not a boxer, but I know you don't what? It's just so frustrating. And I don't know. I mean, I'm probably going to watch it again, like the whole thing, to go into like, let's see what it is. But it was just like not what I anticipated it to be. Because I don't know, it's just like, it looked too like fake. I know it's a movie, but it didn't look realistic at all. Like the fight scenes or anything, or like the drama or anything like that. And I don't know. I was just like, and then like, cause like when we got in, like probably like 20 minutes, no, not even 20 minutes into us like watching it, which is spoiler, skip to whatever timestamp I put on the screen right now. But you've been warned. This is a spoiler. But Adonis's mom dies. And I feel like that was like the only scene that made me be like, oh, like, wow. Like, cause like she was probably like the staple in the movie. Like the way that she delivered the lines, it's like, she thinks it's Apollo, and she tells him like, how could you leave me? And like, but how Adonis saved her and all that stuff. And I was like, damn, so powerful. I probably would have been more invested if I would have watched the first hour, but so like, I kind of want to watch it again to see like how it, if it's actually like as good as they say it is, because they're like, oh, it's the best out of the Creed franchise and that stuff. And I'm like, well, the first one is pretty perfect, so I don't know. And yeah, I don't know. And then drove back yesterday. Now we're here. It's Sunday, March 12th. Probably this episode will be out Wednesday, March 15. Yeah, the Ides of March. Pretty good. Et tu brute. But yeah, other than that, I hope you had a good February. And I hope you have a killer March. It's weird because it snowed last night, but now it's no longer cold. I don't know. The Midwest is weird as hell. But yeah, thank you guys. It feels good to be back here. Ow. But yeah, thank you guys for being patient with me, because I was just going through a lot and I wasn't going to be able to deliver the content that I wanted to deliver if I would have just, not taken the time off that I needed. But yeah, I guess I want to give a big shout out to my parents and my sister and my friends and my cousin and pretty much everyone that was there for me, because it was a rough month. And yeah, hopefully, like a lot of great things happened in February, but it's for my personal life, and I don't want to dive into that because I want to keep it to myself. But good things happen in February, and I hope, better, like grows, like from the good thing, the few good things that happen in February, more grows out of those. More stuff grows out of those few things. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's, in store for the podcast, in store for me, in store for my personal life, my career, with running and everything. So like always, thank you for your support. Thank you for always being here for me. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to your boy. I'm always going to be there for y'all. And Um, Follow the socials on the description. And yeah, like always, it's my pleasure and my honor to be able to do this for you guys. And I love you all. Take care. Mwah. Massive kiss to all of you. Hope you have a killer week, a killer March, well, killer second half of March. And keep being true to yourself, because I wanted to do something motivational, but I forgot. But pretty much keep being you, because that's the best version of you. That, whoa, that doesn't make any sense. Just keep being you and keep being your authentic self. And sometimes I know life feels like just keeps going to shit, but everything would work itself out. We might not see it yet, but it always does. You just gotta be patient. Anyway, I'll see you guys real soon. Take care. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Hopefully, if everything goes great. Anyway, take care, guys, and I'll see you guys real soon. Mwah. Peace.